All right, welcome to the Explainer. In the world of capital markets, trust is, well, it's everything, right? But how in the world do you build that same trust online? Today, we're going to break down the exact SEO strategies that don't just get you seen, they get you believed. Let's get into it.
Yeah. In an industry where trust is literally the ultimate currency, this is the million-dollar question. I mean, think about it. When a potential client is online searching for serious financial guidance, what makes them click on your firm and not the dozen others right next to you?
Well, the answer is all about a really crucial shift in how you think about this. See, getting to the top of Google, that just gets you noticed. But being seen as the definitive, trustworthy authority, that's what gets you chosen. And it means your entire digital strategy has to have one main goal: building that undeniable credibility.
Okay, so how do we actually build that credibility? It all starts with a rock-solid digital foundation. And listen, this isn't just some nice-to-have recommendation. It's the absolute bedrock of your entire online presence. And it really rests on three key pillars. Yeah, you can think of these as the three non-negotiables. You gotta have these to build on solid ground. So let's break each one down, and we'll start with keywords.
First up, keywords. Now try to think of this less as some technical SEO task and more like a deep dive into your client's mind. It's all about understanding the exact language, the exact phrases they're typing into that search bar when they're looking for the solutions you offer.
A really smart keyword strategy actually works on three different levels. First, you've got your niche keywords. These are the ones that reflect your unique services. Think super specific, like mezzanine financing for tech startups or ESG investment advisory for family offices. Second, you got to analyze your competitors to see what's working for them and where the gaps are. And finally, you target those long-tail keywords. These are the super specific phrases, like how to structure a leverage buyout, that tell you the person searching is educated and probably ready to make a move.
All right, next pillar, content. This is so important. This is where you go from just being found to being trusted. In the financial world, it's all about proving what Google calls EEAT. That stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Your content is literally your digital proof. It's your big chance to show, not just tell, that you genuinely get the market and your clients' super complex needs.
So a really powerful content strategy uses different formats for different jobs, right? You can have educational articles, maybe a deep dive white paper on SPAC regulations. That establishes you as a thought leader. Then you've got timely industry updates, market analysis. That proves you've got your finger on the pulse. And don't forget multimedia. A webinar on deal structuring, for example, can make all that dense, compliance-heavy info so much easier for people to actually digest.
Okay, our third foundational pillar is user experience, or UX. And the principle here is so simple. If your website is frustrating to use, you've lost. You've lost trust before you've even said a single word. It absolutely has to work flawlessly on a phone, it needs to load almost instantly, and it must be effortless to get around, especially when we're talking about high-stakes financial information.
And why is mobile so critical? I mean, just look at this. We're talking well over 80% of users, everyone from junior analysts to CEOs. They're looking at financial data on their phones, often squeezed in between meetings. If your site isn't perfectly built for that little screen, you've put up a huge barrier to trust before they've even read a single word from you.
And that's really the key takeaway here. A fast, clean, easy-to-use website, it doesn't just feel good. It communicates professionalism and reliability on a totally subconscious level. It sends a powerful message that you care about the details.
Okay, so we've laid our solid foundation. Now it's time to start building upwards. This next level is all about projecting that authority out into the world and, crucially, earning some external validation.
I mean, just think about it like this. On one hand, you can stand on a rooftop and shout, "We are market experts." Or a respected financial leader could point to your latest analysis and tell their network, "You need to read this." Which one do you think carries more weight? It's the second one, right? Every single time.
And that, right there, is the power of a quality backlink. It is so much more than just a link. It's a vote of confidence. It's another credible, respected source in your industry putting their own reputation on the line to vouch for your expertise.
So, how do you actually earn these powerful votes of confidence? Well, it's all about being proactive. You can write guest articles for reputable financial publications. You can build partnerships with other institutions for collaborative research or joint white papers. And, this is really crucial, you have to be constantly monitoring your backlink profile to make sure you're only being associated with high-quality, authoritative sources. Now, of course, authority isn't always this big global thing.
For a lot of firms, boutique investment banks, regional wealth managers, trust is built much, much closer to home. It's built street by street, right there in the communities you actually serve.
And that is exactly where local SEO comes into play. This is all about optimizing for searches that include your city or your region, keeping your Google My Business profile absolutely pristine, and encouraging and featuring those really powerful local client reviews. It's what makes you the undeniable go-to expert right in your own backyard.
All right, let's get to our final section, and this is a big one. SEO is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. Not at all. It is a living, breathing process. I want you to think of it like a giant flywheel. Once you get that heavy wheel spinning, each turn makes the next one just a little bit easier and a little bit faster. And what's the fuel for this flywheel? It's data, plain and simple. Through SEO, analytics, you measure what actually matters. You're tracking traffic, sure, but also lead form conversions, white paper downloads, all the things that give you a brutally honest picture of what's working and, just as importantly, what isn't.
But that leads to the most important question, doesn't it? I mean, what do you actually do with all those insights? Collecting data is the easy part. The real magic is in how you use it to constantly get better.
You use it by creating this powerful cycle of continuous improvement. It goes like this. First, you track your performance. Then, you analyze that data, and you can use advanced tools, even AI, to find those hidden patterns in market behavior. Based on what you find, you adjust your strategy, maybe tweak your content or your keywords, and then you repeat the whole process. You just keep going, getting smarter and more effective with every single loop of that flywheel.
So, let's bring it all together. What's the digital bottom line here? We've basically just put together a complete framework for building real trust and authority in the capital market space, all online.
It really all comes together in this idea of an SEO pyramid. At the bottom, you have that non-negotiable foundation, your keywords, your content, and your user experience. Then the next level up is all about building that online authority through backlinks and local SEO. And right at the very top, you have the optimization flywheel, constantly spinning, driven by analytics and AI to make sure you're always improving.
So we'll end on this thought. In today's world, your website is, for all intents and purposes, the first interaction a potential client has with your firm. It is your digital front door. So after everything we've talked about today, the only question you really have to ask yourself is your door unlocked and welcoming, or is it locked tight, turning valuable clients away?